What do you think is the single biggest limiting factor that prevents most people from taking full control of their finance and their future?
Most people blame others. Most people fear the consequences of being responsible for the good things and the bad things of their life. I often tell people everyone is self-made, but only the successful will admit it. Because the unsuccessful person, they're self-made, but they won't admit it. They'll blame somebody else. They'll blame the imaginary thumb of the government. They'll blame the race. They'll blame the color of their skin, but they'll never look at themselves and be like, what did you not do? Because everybody's quick to be like, oh, well, I am successful. I built this company. But what about when you fucked up? What about when you were inferior, when you were a loser? Did you take accountability for those things? And most people, I think, are just not comfortable with assuming that responsibility. So creating an ethos where we can be vulnerable, creating an ethos where it's okay to fuck up, where it's okay to fail, is going to revolutionize and change through authenticity how people interact and how people talk. And what I often tell people is this fear of failure is induced into us. It's not natural. If you go to the school system, bro, imagine how fucked it is to go to a first grader and give them an F and tell them you failed. Or you know what, because you didn't apply this, this, and this, you have to stay back with, you know, younger kids and you shame them. Bro, that's fucking degrading. So from the beginning, you're conditioned to not try. Because if you try, there's a chance that you're going to be penalized, and you don't want to be penalized. Nobody wants to be penalized. And then that translates to high school, that translates to university, that translates to the workplace, that translates to your interaction in your entire life. You just want to play it safe. And in that safety, it's all elusive, because at the end of the day, you're going to die. So we all end up being in the same situation because we all are going to end up dead. So there isn't any safety because we're all going to end up 6 feet under. So if you're going to end up 6 feet under, there's nothing to stress about. There's nothing to worry.
Yeah. I think it's called equanimity, no?
Equanimity.
That's it, right? With the concept of like, don't look at the tree, look at the forest, right? Take a step back and then realize, man, why are we even stressing? I mean, easier said than done, right? But
it can't even be said, and it can't be done. It needs to be felt. And the equanimity is the calmness of the soul. Equanimity means the calmness of the soul. So when you, like Miyamoto Musashi famously said, with your spirit as high as Mount Fuji, you will see all things clearly. And when you can elevate your perspective and you can see that what people are doing, what people think about you, your failures and your wins, they're insignificant. When you can see it, nobody cares.
But before that, you need to go through the big failures and realize that nothing happened.
Yes.
Which most people will not go through because they're scared.
Yes.
And you're saying that one of the reason, or the main reason they're scared, is the education system, where from young, also early on, it's basically black or white, right? It's failure or success.
Winner. Gold star or red marker with an F.
Would you go as far as saying that, let's go into the education one because it's a very interesting one.
The education system was created by the Rockefeller Foundation under the Prussian school system, which was the idea of creating factory working bots that don't question, they don't do anything except obey. That's why the school system resembles the industrial era. You raise your hand in order to use the bathroom. There's an assembly line. The bell rings. Therefore, that's your break. That's your cue. You have to be operating just within your little dynamic. You can't explore. You're not supposed to collaborate. You're within your little area of work. This is what you do. But it not only resembles the industrial kind of era, but it also resembles the prison complex. Right? So you have the fluorescent lights, you have the locked rooms, you walk in a line, you go to the yard 1 hour of the day, and you only do it when the bell rings. Dude, can I just, when everybody clips it, all you have to do is look at what a cafeteria looks like in the United States school and look at a cafeteria at prison. They look the same. So everything is conditioned from the moment you're young to absolutely create and prune you into being a fiat slave.
Which we all follow, right? We even getting out of this mindset of And again, my Swiss side will be like, you don't have to be an entrepreneur to be like, it's not only about being an entrepreneur, right? You can be a consultant and be happy. You can be
you can even be
right?
an employee. It's not even about that. It's about understanding that what you've been conditioned to believe is a bullshit. What you've been conditioned to feel about reality, what you've been conditioned to understand is true, is not true, and that the systems, the beliefs that you've been given are not yours, and that you're not bound and limited to these things in order to become an individual that achieves greatness. Greatness isn't what Luke Belmar tells you greatness is. Success isn't what Luke Belmar tells you success is. What is your symphony of success? When you hear success, right, what does that mean to you? What does that look like for you? It looks different for you. It looks different for me. But pursue that path. Most people know, hey, I want to pursue something. I want to become somebody. But then because of the fear of failure, the fear of judgment, the fear of insecurities, and shame on all these motherfuckers online that talk shit, because the last thing you want to be doing is criticizing and insulting somebody for trying.
Absolutely.
When we're all just trying to make it. So why are you trying to hold the brother down? You know what I mean?
What about
crazy?
What about your parents? Because obviously your parents, I mean, I'm saying, when I say your, I mean like people's parents, right? My belief is that most parents only, even if they don't know how to communicate it, they truly love their kids.
Yes.
And they want the best for their kids, right?
But just because they want what's best for them, they don't know what is best, right? Just because somebody loves you doesn't necessarily mean they know what's best for you. And what I always tell people is, with your parents, people that have invested their life force energy into nurturing and raising you, especially if they love you. If they don't love you and they treat you like shit, fuck them, right? That's my point of view. But if they've actually empowered you, they've worked hard to help you elevate, they want to see what's best for you, prove them wrong, right? If they don't want to see you elevate, prove them wrong with your actions. Your parents aren't going to be upset if they see you waking up early, if they see you pursuing your dreams, if they see you being productive. If you're not doing anything, you're just playing Fortnite all day, being a lazy piece of shit, they're going to start questioning, well, what is this person doing with their life? And rightfully so. But I think when parents also understand, and a lot of them do, that you're actually being productive and you're putting forth a plan towards success, a lot of them will support it.
Yeah. Because ultimately they just want you to be happy, and they'll feel it and they'll see it if you're happy in whatever you're trying.
And you have to sell them on it. It goes back to what we talked about. You have to sell them, just like you have to sell your girl on staying with you, just like you have to sell your customers on hanging around. You have to sell sometimes your parents on them allowing you and blessing you to pursue different areas of life.
And worst case, if they still don't want it, there is still the possibility of saying, hey, I'll find a whatever shit job, or just to not depend on you financially anymore, so I can do my own thing and you don't have a say anymore, right?
You know what's funny? It was the Thanksgiving of 2017. And remember in 2017, I think everybody was talking about crypto or Bitcoin, and it went up and then it tanked or some shit.
Yeah.
I think that's where like the entire culture of, hey, during Thanksgiving, everybody talks about crypto and everybody tells their grandma to buy. I think it came from the 2017 bull run. But we were going around the table and my mother asked me, she said, what are you grateful for? Right? My mother always asks that during Thanksgiving. What are you thankful for? And I said, I'm thankful for Bitcoin. And they laughed at me, right? They scoffed me. But last week I sent my mother a Bitcoin, right? And she no longer cares about whether she scoffed me or whether she thought Bitcoin or my gratitude towards it was a good thing or that I'm being thankful for it. She's just happy now that I'm successful, and now she gets to partake in that success. So sometimes you have to eat some shit. Sometimes you have to understand that your vision is your vision, and it was given to you. It wasn't given to your parents. So you don't need their validation. You don't need their approval. But if you're still in their household and you still, want their blessing, then prove them wrong through your actions and be diplomatic through a process of selling them into your vision through action, dedication, and respect.
This applies a lot to actually sales in business, right?
Yes.
Because let's say your clients are big corporations, so there's a lot of politics in there. Sometimes you know exactly what they need, but if you tell them what they need, they'll tell you to fuck off.
Yes.
So you will sell them what they want to hear. And once you got the project, then you come and you say, forget all the shit that I told you. Now we're going to do the real deal, right? And it's always, it's sales. It's just sales. Like everything is sales. It's true.
It's crazy. And if you can't sell your mama on letting you start an e-com store, then how are you going to sell anybody on giving you $1 million check to go start a business? Or how are you going to go sell something that's high tech? Or how are you going to sell anybody on anything else? Yeah. Everything starts in the basics, right? Everything starts in the beginning. And if you can be diplomatic with your family and bring them onto your vision, so be it. But at the same time, the path of success and the path of entrepreneurship and the path of greatness is lonely. And you have to be willing to be alone in the process to getting to the top. And I realized in my life and my main perspective in life wasn't to become successful. My perspective of life has become to pursue truth. And when I told God, hey, I will sacrifice my family, my relationships, even my life for the pursuit of truth, then that commitment and that dedication carried me through any insecurities, any doubt, any loneliness, and eventually all these things played out well.
So you would say that you're still lonely?
No.
Often?
Because I can be alone and not be lonely because I'm with myself.
How do you get to that stage? Because for me,
spend a lot of, when you're in the car, turn off that motherfucking radio. Be in your thoughts. Ask yourself, why is it that you do what you do? Ask yourself, why do you wake up in the morning and do what you do? Why is it that you pursue the goals and the dreams that you pursue? Have these conversations. Be comfortable in your own skin. If you're uncomfortable, ask yourself, why is it that you're experiencing these things? Why is it that you are in a situation where you don't like to be by yourself? Because if you are with yourself, it doesn't mean you have to be lonely. You don't need other people. Because when you're on your deathbed, dude, nobody's going to be there. It's just you, yourself, figuring out, did I live a successful life? Did I do what I say I was going to do? You can't point fingers. You can't say, oh, because this person said this or this person said that. No. You're fully accountable for your life. And when it's all said and done, it's all up to you. So why not live that way?
What do you do concretely with that? Do you meditate? Do you pray?
I spend a lot of time just thinking.
So you have like in your agenda or calendar, which is probably crazy full.
No, it's empty.
You have some, it's empty. You have like some.
So empty, bro. There's like nothing on my calendar because that was like my perspective. Like I just have like my regular calls for the week, which is like my regular calls. But besides that, as the creative in the business, I can't have a schedule.
Absolutely. Okay.
I need to be able to create an environment where I can just free flow. And it's not for everybody, but in my space, it's just like empty schedule and just spend as much time thinking, as much time in my thoughts, and as much time as possible questioning my actions so that I understand why I'm actually doing what I'm doing.